So now we are starting with the external growth strategies. External growth strategies are those strategies which are outside. That means you are taking help of someone to grow in your business. Let's understand what they are. There are three forms of external growth strategies. The first one I have is collaboration or joint venture. Second one I have is mergers and amalgamation. Third one I have is takeovers or acquisitions. Let's understand the first one, that is collaborations. So collaborations may take place between two or more firms either in the same country or from different countries. That means I can have a collaboration with somebody from the US wherein that company is giving me technology and I am giving all the resources from here. So this is a very good example of collaboration. Let's understand what are the importance to collaboration, or because of collaboration, how is collaboration important to the domestic company. So what will the domestic company? Domestic company is, for example, there is a collaboration between an Indian company and a US company. Then the Indian company right now in our example is a domestic company. Okay. So let's understand that. The first importance is capital. So the domestic company can get capital from the collaborator, and that it can be utilized for expansion or modernization. The second point I have is skill development. Now skill development, the foreign partners may provide training to the employees. So what skills can we gain? So knowledge, attitude, skills, social behavior, a lot of things they can learn from each other after the collaboration. The third advantages or third importance is its technology power. That means what? The foreign firm may transfer advanced technology to the domestic firm, and the advanced technology brings certain benefits such as quality improvements and cost reduction. So this is really benefited to the domestic company. The fourth point I have is competitive advantage. Now the domestic firm may gain competitive advantage in the local market as well as in the foreign markets. This is because the overall efficiency is definitely going to be improved with the competitive advantage. The fifth point I have is corporate image. Now, definitely once you are having any kind of collaboration with a firm from abroad, you would definitely have a better image and a better goodwill because that company is already excelling in that. So by tying up, you both are going to definitely improve on especially the consumer products. The sixth point I have is economies of scale. Economies of scale, means higher demand of goods and services. So initially, if you were selling 50,000 units, now with the tie-up, you're at least expecting 1 lakh units. So the increase in production and distribution brings economies of scale to the local firm, because now the cost per unit will be reduced because now they are selling more units. So with this, for example, initially my cost was 400 rupees. Now my cost will easily come down to 300 or 350 rupees. So these are the importance of foreign collaboration to the domestic company. Now let's study how will the importance of foreign collaboration help to the foreign collaborator with whom the Indian company is tying up. So let's study the importance to them. The first one is definitely the expansion of business. The foreign collaborator is expanding his business out there. So he's trying to, capture two markets. Secondly, the second point is recovery of R&D expenses. The foreign collaborator has already had a lot of R&D expenses. So now by selling in India or by having the tie-up, he is looking at more profits so that he can remove his R&D expenses. Now, for the foreign collaborator, the Indian market is a foreign market. So he wants to have his goodwill even in the Indian market. So this is really going to help him. The fourth point I have is inputs in lower prices. So the foreign collaborator also feels that while he's going to collaborate, he is also going to reduce his cost per unit, because the labor in the domestic company is very cheap. The space out there is there, and already he doesn't have to invest in all these things, because that already the domestic company has. So he is definitely going to input at lower prices what he would have otherwise had to spend a bomb in his money, I mean in his country. The fifth point, that is incentives. Now let's understand, incentives are some kind of some kind of additions or some kind of lucrative thing that the foreign collaborator is looking out at. For him, they may give a tax holiday or inputs at subsidized rates. Therefore, the overall production cost for the foreign collaborator is going to fall. So this cost falling is a big incentive to him. And the sixth point I have is high returns. So the foreign company may enjoy high returns from the foreign collaborator. For example, royalty, or trademark, patents, a lot of things he would just initially charge for having this collaboration. So definitely overall the foreign collaborator is also going to benefit. Now we are starting with merger and amalgamation. So a merger is a combination of two or more firms, or this thing. After merger, only one company will exist. So let's take the best example for this is Audi. So Audi is a merger of four companies. The reasons for mergers, let's study them one by one. The first one is competitive advantage. Now, definitely merger helps to face competition, and due to economies of large scale production, the firm is in a position to have or to deliver better quality goods and services. The second point for this is diversification. In diversification, a merged entity can diversify into a new greater capacity, which initially he had a little issue. Either it could be technical or financial. So diversification broadens the horizons, and now it is due to the combined efforts of the merger that now the company can even enter different things that they could have not thought before, because now there are two or three people who have come together into one, and all their expertise are now utilized. The third reason for merger is economies of scale. When firms combine, there are economies of scale, production and distribution, and better coordination of facilities and activities, which is reducing the overheads. So economies of scale helps to reduce the company's overheads by reducing the cost of unit. The fourth reason for merger is financial benefits. So, a merged firm can get a huge tax benefit, and especially when a profit-making unit has took over a loss-making unit, then a better position to borrow more funds from the market at a lower rate of interest. The fifth point is growth. So a merged entity is in a better position to grow faster than individual firms operating separately. So definitely, if three of us come together, we can grow a little bit more faster because the competition is reduced, because we have become now a one firm, and we can definitely deliver a better product with a way more faster chain. The sixth point I have is higher market share. Mergers enables to increase market share of the new entity. The combined sales of the merged firms would definitely increase the market share of the new combination. So that is high market share. And as a result, even if I have already made my IPO or my new shares or whatever, even they would soar. So the investors also going to be very happy once you capture a high market share. The seventh point is increase in goodwill. ICICI, ICICI was initially like the way they have created a goodwill. The merger or ICICI and Prudential in the insurance sector as now ICICI Prudential. So not only it has created a better impact in the Indian market, but also in the global market where it has merged, where the merger had happened. The eighth point is managerial effectiveness. A merged entity facilitates managerial effectiveness. Managerial effectiveness can bring higher returns to the merged entity. The ninth point I have is revival of sick units. When I'm talking about sick units, what are they? Any company which has made, losses of over, 2 or 3 years, they are known as sick units. So basically, when a strong company took over the sick unit, the problem of industrial sickness will be avoided and they will be revived. Revived means now they have got a new birth. And the 10th point that I have is efficiency. So the combined entity may improve R&D efforts and improve in technology. Therefore, the combined company together will definitely achieve higher returns at lower costs.